Thank you, devotees. So Bhagavad Gita is so nice. We should be grateful that we are able to read something that came from Krishna's lips. Be born in a place, to be having the chance to associate with his Vedic literatures. It's a great fortune. Only a person who has performed many pious activities, only a person who has performed a lot of services in the previous lifetimes can even associate with Bhagavad Gita. What to talk of associating with Bhagavad Gita regularly? What to talk of sharing realizations based on Bhagavad Gita? Because as soon as one reads Bhagavad Gita, all the problems can actually come to a complete halt. No one is giving that guarantee, is it not? Based on which all miseries will come to an end. They're trying like that in a material way to reduce all the material miseries by some entertainment, by some distraction. But all miseries are not coming to an end. So for maybe 15-20 minutes, I'm forgetting. For half an hour, I'm forgetting. But where is the solution to end all miseries for good? Is there anyone in the world who has a solution like that? Imagine how nice would it be, right? Because that's our nature. Our nature is to be without any problems. That's our nature. That's who we are actually. That's what we want. So Bhagavad Gita gives us ourselves back, right? So Bhagavad Gita introduces ourselves to us. So it's very nice that we are reading Bhagavad Gita. So we are reading 7th chapter, 9th shloka, if I'm not mistaken. Punyo gandha prithivyamsta tejastasmi vibhavaso jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapastasmi tapasvishu. So to explain some of these things, Punyo gandha prithivyamsta. To explain this, we need to explain what is creation, how creation happens. Krishna says, I am the original fragrance of earth. What does it mean? It means fragrance. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So this Gandham, where does Gandham come from? Smell. How is smell created in this world? So the Bhagavatam mentions the whole sequence of how different material elements start coming from sound. So I mentioned this many times. The Bhagavatam's explanation of creation is that the gross comes from the subtle. So just like we have sound. So the Bhagavatam says how from sound ether came. Space, we are all sitting in space, right? And then that sound is the source for that space, ether. We can't understand ether right now. But that sound is the source of ether. Okay. And from ether, there is the next thing, which is the sense of touch. Right? So sound ether is born. Shabdaha akasha sambhavaha. Akashat vayur utpannaha. Right? So, and from air, again the sense of touch is produced. Sparsham. Because we can't experience sparsham without air. In this way, you can go Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. All these tanmatras are all produced sequentially. And in this way, if you go, the whole earth element was produced from fragrance. Very difficult to understand how fragrance can produce earth. Right? Like Gandham. Gandham is producing earth. It's very difficult for us to understand. So the point is, subtle produces gross. Sound produced everything. This is the principle. Now Krishna is saying, earth has got all the qualities. If you take sound, it has got only one quality. That is subtle quality. Ether has got one more quality. Air has got one more quality, which is sound and touch. Ether has got sound. Air has got sound plus touch. Fire has got sound plus touch plus form. Water, apaha, has got sound plus touch plus form plus taste. Earth has got sound plus touch plus form plus taste and smell. All these qualities are present in earth. That is why it is the grossest manifestation of everything. All sensations are produced in earth. And that quality which is present in earth, that is not present in anything else, is earth. It is smell. Gandham. So Gandham is pretty present in earth, but Gandham is not present in water. Gandham is not present in fire. Gandham is not even present in air. When air comes in touch with earth, then it gets its quality of Gandham. Okay. So, and from there on, uh, knowledge acquiring senses are produced, right? From ether, hearing is produced. From air, touch is produced. Fire, sight is produced. Water, taste is produced. Earth, smell is produced. And then 5 working senses are produced. In this way, from the Virat Purusha, 5 gross elements, 5 subtle elements, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, 1 mind, 1 intelligence, 1 ahankara, and 1 Mahat Tattva makes it 24. 25th element Jiva, 26th element Bhagavan. So ultimately, Krishna is saying, I am the fragrance of the earth. What does it mean? Fragrance is the cause of the earth. And as it is the cause of the earth, it is present in earth. If the seed is present in the tree, seed is the cause of the tree. So can you say some part of the tree which is not the seed? Yeah. Similarly, Krishna is saying, if you have to say, where am I with respect to earth, then I have to be Gandham, the cause of it, not just the primary cause, the continuing cause. Sometimes we think of cause in a very binary way. We think of cause causing something and then that's it, it stops. Okay. But the Vedantic Bhagavad Gita way of understanding cause is that the cause causes the effect and continues to cause the effect throughout. The effect can never exist independent of the cause at any point of its existence. That's like the tree always has the seed manifested in it. Right. Similarly, Krishna is telling Punyo Gandha Prithivyamsta. And again here, Tejas Tasmi Vibhavaso. Vibha is like the Tejas of the Vibha. Because Vibha, the Bhati, the light, Bhaskaraha, Bhanuhu, Vibhati, Tasya Bhasa, Sarvamidam Vibhati. This Bhati also has its source, fundamentalness. This is what, for us, what we need to understand is everything in this material world has something more fundamental to it than what meets the eye. Everything. Even our so-called success and so-called defeat, even what we don't like in others, has also, there is something more fundamental to it. To give an example, someone might be very angry, but there is something more fundamental at play for him being continuously angry. Okay. Now, someone is very abusive. Now, if you go back to his childhood, there is something more fundamental at play for him being so abusive. Or maybe if you go back to his previous lifetimes, you can see why he was born in that family to be like to the abusive family. So, in this way, you have to go a little further down. This is what our intelligence doesn't want to do. Our intelligence, when it is very gross, it cannot go a little subtler. It cannot go and do vicharam of what is causing it. So because of this gross buddhi, we become satisfied with the most manifested form that we see in this world. So, but if we do a little inquiry, then behind everything there is so much mystery. Behind even the most simplest of things, there is sufficient meditation that you could have. I'm sitting in a garden right now. I'm surrounded by a lot of vegetables, surrounded by a lot of plants. But it's very magical. It's very mysterious that these things are actually manifesting. From a seed is something very magical. Or even just say you being a mother or being a father is something very magical. You're producing a child is something very magical. Or even you breathing is very magical. Or even our body existing is very magical actually. So why do we not appreciate this magic? Why do we not get sufficiently excited by this magic? Because we are absorbed in the most grossest manifestation of reality. When we are, that is also reality only. There is nothing that is separate from reality, Krishna. But when you're just appreciative of the grossest part of reality, our intelligence also becomes very gross. And anything gross, the nature is that it has very little stock of excitement in it because it is a final grossest manifestation after all the filters, right? So it doesn't hold the soul so deeply. But if you go a little subtler, like that's what Krishna is trying, is helping us understand. Krishna could simply say, I'm the seed in everything, right? Krishna could have simply ended the whole seventh chapter by saying, hey Krishna, Arjuna, I'm fundamental to everything. Krishna could have just said that and completed the Bhagavad Gita. So you see this in the fourth chapter, you see this in the seventh chapter, you see this in the 10th chapter, you see this in the 15th chapter. All these four chapters, Krishna breaks it down. The whole material world, he breaks it down. So if you want to be comfortable with Bhagavad Gita, comfortable means be fascinated by Bhagavad Gita. We better be fascinated by why Krishna is talking on these lines in this theme in multiple chapters. The reason is Krishna wants us to go deeper into our own life, into this world, into others' lives. Little more deeper study, right? So now Krishna is not even satisfied when we look at earth. Because Krishna says, no, earth is the cause of all the smell in this world. Without earth, smell won't have a way to manifest itself. Gandham will not have a way to manifest itself. So Gandham is unmanifested earth. Earth is manifested Gandham. Understand? Right? When something wants to manifest, then it takes another form. When something doesn't want to manifest, it wants to be aprakat, then it takes a different form. It's a different form. It's called differently. Right? So the purpose of earth in this material world is that it is manifesting smell in all its forms and shapes. Okay, it is giving credibility. It is giving more substance to everything that we otherwise have to experience. And another way we can also understand is our intelligence is right now very earthly. It cannot be satisfied with simply fire existing separately. It cannot be satisfied with something existing separately, like light existing separately. If we were satisfied by light existing separately, maybe we will be in a sun planet. But we wanted to have an experience of something very earthly, very gross. So we are born in this earth. So that's why we got this earthly body. We got this earthly body. And because we have this earthly body, there is smell. If you go to Devaloka, there is no smell, bad smell. There is only, what to say, divine smell. Okay. So, this predominance of earth is not there. When this predominance of earth is there, then there is a lot of duality of taste, duality of smell. Right? So the point I'm trying to make is uh, Krishna is fundamental, and we are born in a certain place, in a certain space, because we have a certain consciousness, because our intelligence is made of an earthly element, and that way we are born in this earthly body. So, and if we study this earthly body and then go further behind, then we can trace that back to Krishna. This is basically called Sankhya. Sankhya means you are basically just starting from the most manifested form of earth and you trace yourselves back to Krishna. And then Krishna says, Jivanam Sarva Bhuteshu. What a line, right? So Krishna says, this life force, Jivanam, Sarva Bhuteshu. What makes living beings, the life in them? So imagine, I'm right now talking and you're all listening. And the most fundamental part of you that makes you, is your sense of life, your sense of being. Correct? That's what makes us us. If we didn't express any symptoms of life, then we would no longer be us. We would simply be burnt in a funeral pyre. Now Krishna says that very fundamental life is me. That life principle, that jivatvam, we are all jivatma. So the jivatvam is me. How intimate is Krishna with us, right? Right? So fundamental he is to us. When we share a secret to someone, when we share a part of us that we can never share with anyone, then we'll feel very close to that person. When something only one person knows, and we say sometimes, I'm only telling you this, I've not told anyone, then we feel very close because we are sharing a part of us. Again, I'm saying we're only sharing a part of us that is very important to us, okay, to someone. And that is important to us very temporarily. And we feel very close to them. But just imagine, we are sharing the most important part of us, which is our life. Okay? And that life is something we can only share with Krishna because we owe that life to Krishna. And Krishna is that life. And Krishna is sharing that part of him. That is another way of looking at it. That is most intimate to him with us. Imagine how close of a relationship every one of us have with Krishna without even us doing anything about it. It's not that an atheist doesn't have a close relationship with Krishna. That's what Prahlad Maharaj is telling. Hey, classmates, say Asura classmates, don't think if you're not Krishna conscious, it doesn't mean that I don't have anything to do with Krishna. You can have any opinion about Krishna. You can have any opinion about yourself. That's completely fine. But still, Krishna is very intimate with you. This is the reality. So when Krishna is going from gross to subtle here is very, very, very interesting. Right? Krishna is going punyo gandha prithiviyam santejas sasi vibhavas, and then he comes to jivanam sarvabhuteshu. Right? So interesting. So the more we can appreciate our life, this is Brahma Bhuta stage. Brahma Bhuta stage means to appreciate that we are existing, we are life. We are life force. I am life. That's who I am. I'm not the Gandham, I'm not the Punya, I'm not all of this. Right? This is all Krishna's material energy. And me, I'm Jiva. And this Jivatvam is also coming from Krishna. That is also coming from Krishna. How intimate is everything with that one reality, Krishna? There's one absolute reality where everything is strung. How intimate is everything? What a level of intimacy, what an extent of intimacy, is it not? Like the amount of intimacy, imagine if someone has had a sexual contact with someone, it's very intimate. But million times more intimate is Krishna with everything in this world. And more intimate because his Bhinna Prakriti is not so intimate. Right? So Bhinna Prakriti is not so intimate. It is intimate, but less intimate. But Krishna with us, how much more intimate? How much more intimate? And more intimate is the Jiva who has got love for Krishna because in this is actually the internal potency. So Krishna is intimate with this world as Brahman. Krishna is intimate with the Jiva as Paramatma. Krishna is intimate with the Jiva as a devotee as Bhagavan. Very interesting. Very interesting. So as Bhagavan, how intimate he is with his devotee. Right? So if you understand the intimacy of Krishna through analysis, you'll find great enthusiasm, great mysticism in Bhagavad Gita. And Krishna says, tapastasmi tapasvishu. So even the penances that we are doing, sometimes I can be proud that penance, the real penance of all austerities we are doing, is actually coming from Krishna. Other way of saying it is, if we want to do real penance, austerity, we need to have Krishna's blessings to have the strength to be austere. That's one way we can be understanding that. But ultimately, to conclude, Krishna is intimate with everything. That's the point of these shlokas. But again, if we simply say Krishna is intimate, we are not going into the details of it. Love is where the details are. Okay, wherever you go into details, there only there is excitement. I mean, there is excitement, there is revelation, right? So if you simply say Krishna is intimate with everything, Krishna is everywhere, that's a lazy statement. Okay, so how Krishna is everywhere is something a little more involved, and that's what brings us closer to that statement, Krishna is everywhere. Okay, that's the point of reading Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so externally we will say Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when we read Bhagavad Gita, listen to a talk, then we will understand the meaning of what Supreme means, what personality means, what Godhead means. the depth of those statements, we realize it. The depth of the statement to say, I'm eternal. The depth of the statement to say, I'm not this body. The depth of the statement to say, Krishna is intimate with everything. The depth, that's why we read, that's why we hear. Okay? So spiritual life, spiritual hearing is to not know information. It is to bring transformation. And what is the transformation? What brings transformation? Our desire to go deep brings transformation. So I'll stop here. Any questions or comments are welcome. Okay, devotees, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat.